Hey guys, and welcome back to Rodea the Sky Soldier. We're going to kick things off with Chapter 2 right now, so, will this part entail, Richie?
So this particular chapter will entail getting to that massive tree that you can see. Obviously there is a lot of pop interest happening right now, but I think it is worse in the other versions, so I can forgive this.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, obviously, the Wii's weaker hardware, so it's certainly not able to do quite as much as the other versions, so how it can be worse is beyond me.
I love how we've just done nothing but shit on the game we're trying to cover at this point.
Well, no, I'm not shitting on the Wii version. I love the Wii version. I'm just shitting on the other versions because Kadokawa are absolutely awful publishers.
Yeah, just to clarify, Kadokawa are the publisher, Probe is the developer, right?
Yeah, Probe developed the Wii version, Kadokawa published the... all of the versions, but they developed the Wii U version and the Nintendo 3DS version, and then the game was published worldwide by NIS, who did the dubbing and all of the localization stuff, I think.
Okay, so if you want to play Yuji Naka's Baby, you want to get the Wii U one with the Wii pack in.
Yes, so basically you want to get the first print edition of Rodea Wii U. I don't know whether that is possible anymore. There'll certainly be some scalpers out there if you want to get the Wii version, because that first print one was probably quite limited.
Can you lend me your copy of the Wii version after you're done with
it? Maybe?
I promise I'll send it back.
I'm sure we can sort that out.
I just wanted to play the proper one for so long.
I'm sure we can sort that out.
Oh, thank you, mate. What else has Probe done? Do you know, like, just off the top of your head?
Well, I don't think they have actually done... Oh no, they do seem to have done quite a bit. So they did Ivy the Kiwi on Nintendo DS. They did... What else? On the Wii they did Let's Catch, Let's Tap, Ivy the Kiwi and Fishing Resort.
Oh, Let's Tap, Future Tap in game. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
Nope. They did Digimon Adventure on the PSP for 2013.
Okay.
Digimon All-Star Rumble 2014. They developed Street Pass Mansion and Street Pass Fishing for the 3DS.
Interesting.
And then there's lots of iOS, Android games like Buddy Monster, Flick Pig, Real Animals HD.
These all sound like Sega games. That's such a Yuji Naka thing to do.
Well, I mean, it is his studio, really.
Yeah. Okay, I noticed Rodea has a gun now. Has this just become a completely different type of game while we were talking about Yuji Naka's studio?
Well, I mean, it's still very much the same type of game. It's just that, I mean, seeing as you've got a pointer, you need some other ways of dealing with enemies. I mean, particularly if you've got bombs, you don't want to be ramming your face into them.
Oh, that would be my strategy, but I understand we want to play this slightly safely.
Yeah, so as well as having the power wing, which is what you get when you go to either those like sort of checkpointy thingies, you can also get the cards which give you weapons. There are 3 different ones in the game. You have the gun, which is really quite helpful and probably the best of the 3.
Uh-huh.
You have the speed shoes, which allow you to go speeding over particular areas. It's only when there's particular plates that you can do that.
I never found a use for the shoes, I'm going to be honest.
Well, they're kind of necessary to progress through certain areas in this game. They aren't, per se, a weapon, but they fall under the same category.
Well, would that be an area after the part I got stuck at?
I honestly don't know, because I didn't play that far in the other versions of the game.
Fair dues, mate, fair dues.
But they certainly are useful in this version. The final weapon is the gauntlet, but I will cover more of that when we actually find a gauntlet.
So what was your, like, initial assessment of the game? How did you feel during, like, your first few levels?
I was very, very charmed by it. I was having a lot of fun. And that continued throughout most of the game. There are a few elements which I am less than happy about. But I would say the grand spectrum of the game is something that I really enjoy. The worst thing are these bloomin' force fields. These are the bane of my existence.
It's just clipping through the islands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're force fields, so they're gonna do that.
You're always giving, like, passes to things that are, like, immaterial. Oh, it's a ghost, he can go through anything. Oh, just let it live. Let him live. Are you ready to go for, like, an all-medal run here? Please say you're not.
Definitely not. I did an all-medal run for the first level, but then after that, I just thought, sod it. It's not worth it, because to get all of the medals, you have to find all of them throughout the level, as well as going through all of the bonus rooms. Some of the later bonus rooms in the game are cruel. And if you die within a bonus room, then there's no way of getting back in.
Oh.
So, or if you enter a bonus room without being fully powered up, there is no way of getting the legacy medal, and once you leave, there's no way of getting back in until you replay the level.
That's kind of shitty game design.
It's not great. I understand why they did it, because this is a very arcadey style title. So they want you to be replaying these levels a lot. But for someone who wants to try and do everything in one fell swoop, it's rather mean.
I have to say, firing the gun in the 3DS version of the game is a bit of a crapshoot, if you're pardon the pun.
Yeah, it's much more easy to do in the Wii version, because you just point and you press A.
That's what I'm saying, there's none of that. Well, there is a sort of cursor, but good luck using the new 3DS's, like, nub to control it.
I'd say it's probably slightly better on the Wii U version, but even then, it just doesn't work properly.
Are there motion controls on the Wii U version?
Sort of. I think you can use the gyro to control the camera a little bit, but nothing past that.
I don't want to use a big friggin' pad to do that.
I mean, I am totally fine with using the gyro on the Wii U controller for certain titles, but when it's something like that, like Splatoon's gyro camera is great, but that's Splatoon and how it uses it. Rodea doesn't quite manage to pull it off.
Have we already met our shadow equivalent for the game?
Well, sort of. So, Rodea is part of a series of creations called the R-Unit series. This fella here, we're just going to call him Olmi for the time being.
Question mark?
It's because it's not his real name, but we're going to call him Olmi. He is also part of the same series. There are other robots that are part of the series, but we're going to meet them throughout the game. They are basically our rivals in that they have the same type of skill set, and the battles require you to face someone down with a similar skill set, but they are all different visually, and they do all have slightly different battle mechanics.
I'm the green guy, I have force fields. Is there like a blue one that has water attacks?
There is not, actually.
Oh, it was a joke, Richie, it's fine.
Yes, hello. Right now.
I mean, you're not wrong in thinking that type of thing, because there's certainly a white one who has icy type moves.
Oh, go away.
But it's not quite entirely elemental.
See, this whole kind of, like, off-kilter, quirky comedy thing just didn't work for me. I don't know how you felt about it.
I think because I went into the game fully prepared for a bit of 90s-ish anime, video gamey cheese, I was totally fine with it. And also, I'm quite fond of, like, the humour of Kid Icarus Uprising.
I'm not...
I am down with a little bit of cheese every now and again. Well, actually, quite a lot of cheese every now and again.
Well, I grew up in the era of cheese, the 90s, and even this was a bit much for me.
I mean, I think part of the problem with Rodea is that it's a game out of its own time.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was very much a game that would have potentially done rather well had it come out in 2011 when it was intended to come out.
Yeah,
I think it would
definitely.
have been received very well. The plot would have been criticised, and certain elements would have been criticised, but on the whole, it would have been remembered as probably a cult classic. It's still going to be a cult title, but it's got a horrible stench attached to it because of what Kadokawa did. Also, voice acting.
Child characters.
This is Rodea.
Here's a fun fact. We actually only know the voice actors for 2 of the people in the English dub.
Why?
One of them is G.K. Bose, who's voicing Ion, and I think another character, but I'd rather not spoil that piece of information.
I can probably guess.
It's pretty obvious, to be fair. And then Kyle Hebert is the voice of Rodea.
Oh, Kyle Hebert.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
I
But
think I mispronounced it as well. But the voice of friggin' like Teen Gohan in Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, and Kiba in the Naruto series. And Ryu in Street Fighter.
I was just about to say Ryu, yeah.
Yep. So, the reason we know about Gina Cabos is because I think she mentioned it in an interview to somebody. She was the only one for a while that we found out about, and then Kyle Hebert,
Just say Kyle.
I think is what Wikipedia is telling me. He tweeted about Rodea saying, "Has anybody played the game?" Which is suspicious to say the least. But then when you listen to like his Kiba voice and you listen to Rodea's voice, you're just like, yeah, they're one and the same.
It's the same character, literally the same. How did they get away with it?
But yeah, and they're the only two because they didn't include the names of the English voice actors in the credits.
Well, isn't there like a glitch in like... I forget which version it is.
This
but-
version.
Oh, the Wii version, yeah. Where there's like no credits at all.
Well, no, so there are credits. They're horrendous credits that NIS decided to put in because they didn't want to use the original Wii credits, because I think it was a video, maybe because the song was in Japanese, maybe because they couldn't add their own credits in there. But then what happens is that once you have gotten to the end of the credits and you've had your results screen, there should be another screen where you get told how many legacy medals you've collected, and there's a bit of dialogue. But nope, the game just crashes.
Wait, not even like a soft reset, just straight out crashes.
It seems that's what happens. Like, your Wii just kind of shits itself, really.
The game's been finished since 2011! How do you get away with this?
I know, unlike the Japanese Wii version, works perfectly from what I can gather. So this is something that NIS did to it, and I'm just like, what?
No sir, I don't like it.
I know.
Also, I've got to say, and this really is a kind of nitpick, but the cutscenes, the CGI ones, kind of come out of nowhere, and they don't even like last long enough to give you a sort of impression.
Yeah, that is kind of quite a bit of a problem here, but they're pretty well done, to be fair. And I think, considering I don't think Rodea had a huge budget,
Really? What gave you that idea?
yeah, I think they did a pretty good job of making them look decent. Like, the art style's wonderful.
I knew you could do it.
And at least in the Wii version, the CGI cutscenes look good. They added that weird cartoon filter and blooming washing out for the other versions, and it just looks horrendous.
Oh, it's compressed as shit on the 3DS one.
Well, it's much crisper on the Wii U version, but all the colours are just so wrong.
I have to say though, I like the fact you're positive for the Wii one, and I'm like totally against the 3DS one. We could meet in the middle and find a sort of balance. By the end of this playthrough, I'll kind of tolerate Rodea, I guess.
I mean, hopefully you'll actually have some sort of affection for it, but...
I guess. Okay guys, we'll see you next time for another chapter of Rodea the Sky Soldier. Bye for now.